The Witcher 3, Hearts of Stone. Should you buy it?
We deliver live this one. Apart from all else, the hell the king...
Welcome to a review series called Late Reviews, in which we play and review games sometime after their release date to see if they are worth a buy in the current state they're in. If this review helps you in any way or you want to see more, leave a like or even subscribe to the channel if you're keen. This review is in a 21:9 aspect ratio, so make sure to chuck it into full screen in order to experience the cinematic feel. In this review, I will be reviewing the DLC Hearts of Stone only. I've already reviewed the base game for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt in a previous video, which I will link down below and hopefully put a card in the top right hand corner now. This review will be shorter than the usual due to me not wanting to repeat everything I've said in the previous review. We also won't be using the normal categories in today's review, as it's only a DLC to a base game. Hearts of Stone was first released in October on the 13th. Hey, that's my birthday, and is an expansion to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. You can either enter this DLC using your existing save game, in which the recommended level is 32, which likely means you will have completed the base game story, or you can start a new game from the main menu and choose an option that will drop you in at the recommended level with some gear if you feel like jumping straight into the DLC. Personally, I would recommend playing through the base game first, as this DLC will have more of an effect if you've experienced the characters and the story and learnt how to play the game. The DLC will give you some extra backstory to characters from the main game, which you'll be missing out on if you haven't played it. Hearts of Stone is a majority story-based DLC which takes place across Velen, one of the base maps in The Witcher 3. The main draw of this DLC is the main questline, which follows Geralt in his dealings with two men, one named Olgierd von Everec and another named Gaunter O'Dim. The DLC also adds a variety of side quests which allow you to find and unlock new items and shops, such as a man from the far-off land of Ophir who is considered a rune wright, who, with an incredibly generous coin donation from you, will be able to create incredibly powerful runes, which will bring Geralt to the next level. Plenty of the items added are much more powerful than most of the items you already possess, allowing you to become more powerful and better equipped as you progress. I will admit, towards the beginning of the quest, I thought the game was taking me to this land of Ophir, and I was incredibly excited to explore it. But sadly, I soon came to the realization that we were staying in Velen for the DLC. If you've watched this far, guys, I just wanted to quickly thank you, and also wanted to quickly mention that I've recently set up a Patreon, which I will leave a link for in the description. Check it out if you're interested in helping out the channel. Thanks. There are a number of really exciting quests and events that take place throughout this DLC's questline, which include attending a wedding with a new romance option, taking place in a bidding war, planning and executing a heist in which you actually get to pick your heist team, and exploring the inside of a painting. Despite taking place in already existing locations, Hearts of Stone made it all feel completely different somehow, and oftentimes felt fully immersed in the small ecosystem created for this DLC. I also secured a weapon which allows me to heal when I hit an enemy, so that was pretty amazing. There are plenty of new and incredibly well written characters added in this DLC as well, none of which were boring to speak to and were all voiced and acted incredibly well. There are also plenty of decisions to be made throughout the DLC that impact the end result and how easy or difficult certain quests are for you to complete. There is of course a whole new collection of music added to this DLC, which, as expected, still is absolutely phenomenal and immersive as far as game soundtracks go. Without spoiling anything, the main quest itself is excellently written and allows you to explore the life of a brand new character in incredible depth. The main story of this DLC is far more emotional and grips you even more than the story of the base game. There is one character that I would have liked to find out more about, who I found incredibly interesting already, but you'll learn about that for yourself. If you're looking for a ton of new monsters to kill, or a bunch of brand new locations, then you may be a little out of luck with this DLC. The gameplay through the DLC is the same as the base game, with no changes to combat or anything like that. The Hearts of Stone DLC, according to How Long to Beat, is around 10 hours for the main story, 14 hours if you complete some extra side quests, and around 19 hours if you complete everything it has to offer. Now, the question. Should you buy Hearts of Stone? The DLC itself is $23.59 Australian dollars or $10 US dollars, which means we actually get a little shafted here in Australia on the price. But the DLC does regularly go on sale for around 60% off, bringing it down to $9.43 Australian dollars or $3.99 US dollars. The DLC is also available through the Game of the Year edition of The Witcher 3, which is probably the best value, especially on sale, or if you already own the base game, you can buy the expansion pass, which includes both Hearts of Stone and the Blood and Wine DLC, which I will be reviewing hopefully super soon. The expansion pass can be bought for $35.89 Australian dollars or $24.99 US dollars, which also regularly goes on sale for about 60% off, bringing it down to $14.35 Australian dollars or $9.99 US dollars. And I would recommend, if you're going to buy the DLC, to either buy it through the expansion pass or the Game of the Year edition and not just individually. The story alone will make me recommend this DLC wholeheartedly, and despite maybe being a little short or not adding too much to the game, I would recommend buying the DLC on sale, especially if you already have the base game and are currently playing through it. Wait for the sale. If you've already finished the base game and this DLC looks amazing to you, it is still easily worth the full price. Anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed my shorter form late review for The Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone. I should be reviewing the second major DLC, Blood and Wine, soon, so look forward to that. And peace out everybody.
My rules.
Cry and I weep, yawn and I sleep, smile and I too shall grin. Something that repeats all I do? Maybe an echo?
Echo. No dice.